people come together to talk, to have a few drinks, you know, to have some fun, to forget about what's going on, and they definitely come into a village pub to leave their problems at the door, whatever's going on. Like, I mean, everyone that walks in the door, you don't know what they're going through, so, you know, it's kind of, it's a part of people's lives. When I started working here, and after a couple of years, I really loved it. The opportunity came to buy it off my parents, and here I am. I grew up in Sandymount, but I lived here for a couple of years, from till I was about 3, but I don't remember. My mum and dad were here originally from about 71, and that was basically the family business for my entire life. If you kind of listen to what's going on around you, and the universe sometimes delivers a lot of conversations along the same topic, and a lot of conversations that people would have would be about the nostalgia of the area or the history of it and who was here before. And then we always had a picture on the wall from 1891. They would say to me, oh, I remember how this pub looked, you know, years ago, or how it looked in the 50s, or, you know, the 60s, or there was an alcove here, or there was a snug over there. And sometimes you can kind of look around and visualise it, and you can kind of feel the history of the pub as you're in it. Who doesn't love a bit of nostalgia, you know? So I kind of started to form an idea in my head of, God, what was, you know, Ringsend Irishtown like in 1845? What was it like before? And then out of the blue one day, a guy called Eddie Bhraoin dropped in a very neat piece of paper with a picture of the pub back in 1845 and a picture of it now, and then just a list of all the owners across the top. My interest was definitely piqued, thinking, you know, what could we find out here? I knew there was one female owner, and I said, well, as a female owner myself, wouldn't it be nice to find out about her? Just from being in the archive with Louise, I found out that the next name on the list, M. Nolan, was actually another woman. So you could see the census, and then we could also see that Anna Quinn had left the pub to a Mary Nolan in her will, and that's all we knew. So, and I just kind of piqued my interest as to how we could find out about her, because nobody seemed to know a lot about her. I mean, you know, between 1920 to 49, I mean, it must have been a very interesting time in Ireland, and, you know, these women were running pubs. So I wasn't really thinking until, obviously, I started, you know, going into the archive and looking at and seeing the newspaper clippings and that kind of thing. So, and I knew when I bought the pub, Dad said, don't lose those deeds, you know, put them in a safe or whatever. And I was like, they'd be grand, don't worry about it. I was thinking maybe the deeds might throw a bit of personality or a bit of information, or, you know, as to how things were transferred, like, through the years, through people, you know. Because the area is so steeped in history, so everybody has an opinion on it, everybody has a say on it, everybody has a story about where they're from, their connections, and people in this community are definitely very connected to their culture, where they're from, and to me it feels like a kind of a small country village. I always describe the Vintage as a country village pub, and it just feels that way. Your reading, son. Take a look at that lease and see I'm checking things right, will you? And pass it round, but be careful with it. It's the only one I've got. Basically, it seems to say that I can't use this premises, and that's pub to you and me, for the purposes of, and wait till you hear this for a list, a soap boiler, a chandler. Sure, what's that when it's at home? It says there I can't be a butcher, a distiller. Mary, hide that poaching, will you? A sugar baker, brewer, tanner, skinner. Sure, only because you'd skin the feckin' Egypt that come up with this list. A lime burner, brick burner, tile turner, copperer, pewterer. Sure, I'd have to get me teeth changed to say that. Pewterer. But the good news, I can be a grocer, apothecary, a hatter, because I love hats, I love gloves, I love shoes. or a fishmonger. Jesus, it's all in there. It's all written down. Nah, a pub'll do for me. Sure, that's enough business for anyone. They keep paying me shillings to Lord Pembroke, and all is well.